Asa baby me da one a day ahosepen so bre Sunday in the team me da mo so masesa so na ago kansie for so wala senso in the team me da ma se bra so say NIB adwumako na daroma ya Mela Active and so daroma ya dey Mpensenpensenmu dwumedi no bro on the dark side of life. Final funeral rites Nana Mary Equia Efriye onya 95 years, mother of the late Omayene of Techiman. Nana Osaberima de Tobibi Techia Meya Tosumino ye ne mame ono yedne tumpem nyame adoma ye china day na afia pene krabia kama ebekoso ewo Methodist Park Techiman Assembly making 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. Nana Kwame Ketri anope yako na kusenso ntienko boa Nana Kwame usu boatin na afia yenko kata yana nachi Nana Mary Equia Efriye efi ediokono enum Merade fa na currency yi South Chief Executive Jefamko Abattoir so omame eda form na me Adom on the 1st of July ewo Kumasi Ebuakwa yebekwa akota wachi na so akopɛ omame ekrabia oba panyin Susanna Esiedua dodona friend eno ya 94 years se bribia danka eye kai bono nam sa mfie se dia kenyina no yebeka sa erade ebi odi abedi enti oba panyin Susanna dua friend eno ya osie kopɛ okrabia nyame adoma 1st of July ewo Kumasi Ebuakwa ana Ebuakwa Kumasi whichever way there was an Ebuakwa so ana etie so on the brighter side of life Nana Abatechiwa Fletcher when so happy birthday okay happy birthday Nana Abatechiwa I think it's happy birthday from a dear one Nana akwaba no what you say baby come on shake Nana B Bibi kama I see inti enfan ke modi be nema o
Dampe Muhammad na
okay all right so
yeah would continue pe
I see
yes
one of the few DCs omotimetwa 8 years intense no sa press any ne party opposition no ono de na hoden ne nimde ne sika ne bibia behim na daje na wakogina di bia sonko bi e was executives national
I kind you know
na
men kana
edena
oko national youth organize
na de mesi okope di bia wo national na be bi na okawa
omra na membo ne omra me ne frem me also no yeah primary school
oh sure
watch my primary yeah the same dormitory
oh okay good
yeah young fan starting
good timudi tuamusa
oh just
on na betray course
so who is who na me the chair 2020 national youth organizer
you me peno ma bo
o pese mu sie na on na wi
although the zones in Tokano.
Okay, but making this release from the Ministry of Information on this Gitmo 2 in for our discussion. From the Ministry of Information, it says that government has taken notice of the judgment of the Supreme Court delivered on Thursday, 22nd June 2017 by a 6-1 majority in the matter of Margaret Bamfo and Henry Nana Boakye versus Attorney General. In the judgment, the Apex Court, presided over by new Chief Justice Sophia Kufu, has held that the agreement between the government of Ghana and the United States of America for the resettlement of 2 ex-detainees from Guantanamo Bay required parliamentary approval in accordance with Article 75(2) of the Constitution, and failure to secure same makes the hosting of the 2 ex-detainees in Ghana unconstitutional. Consequently, the court has instructed that the agreement be given parliamentary approval within 3 months or the ex-detainees deported out of Ghana upon a failure by Parliament to rectify the agreement. Government wants to assure the nation that the ex-detainees who have been comporting themselves well since their arrival in Ghana continue to be under the supervision of the security agencies. Government is going to take prompt steps to address the consequential orders. In the meantime, government is calling for calm amongst the populace on this matter. Signed, Honorable Mustafa Abdul Hamid, Minister, Information. Anna, or this Shekrata will so Ediaba. Back of by Emma Margaret in another watch, our Hanum said they are in a better position to explain the Akoswabisi and then Nafi Krata, if you miss information about the Kratano, said there on one capacity as Siena, Honorable so AC Etiasia. Nana, Martin Makwaba so well, what to Anamo, Anamono, Susan Suni, One Yamame, Anamakabo, and my family, and me say only when him kind court to bad time, Emma Montiasi, say, Quaya, Sa, in your name, be raw, my mono, and your mind, she shayeno, a boy bra, and I say, and I'm the cause of pepe. A copy a court in the court is saying,
Medasi, Governor, Mamefa Okunya is with the case is now, Mentia Ghana Funina. Naminsa, Enina, I have been Namunse, Nanwa, Union Muslimi for Omushe or Macontrasino, Fidia Suna. Ebe mo shedin ne ka trom se nya ala nkoswa na onso mu non fo mu ntwa se o chire kom bosome baako 30 days nya simple to ma ya de manyante se na wotwe awie ana sa anase me se free na ekui be Sunday Monday mo na ebe awie enti no ene na yenyina ye kan mo ho na ya do mo ase Pabom Mabama Ghana, and Untin, who said Musuno, and they also from Sheikh Mohammed Wachi. Not sanity. Near Tosso, be Musuno. You better Ghana for you as a title, Mons and True for ya. Yet, there are some 2 honors as some also with me monetary. Yet, the Mosipa and semi a energism. But enye ni jisem emma meme unia nanabi anase menana Madam Margaret Ban for 86-year-old lady. In fact, I feel you 87. And to a birthday present man pa. Anytime we go to be anama me kuta ne puma no aba. Anase yen lawyer nana ejiba for of the Middleton Associate Debbie. Enye omwa na enigye no ewo ho ma no e Ghana fo nyina. Ghana kama menka bia mamu no na yehye mukina adegonti ameka sa ne se wo hwen se ma de ko Supreme Court na ye di kan bobu ho asama asima from last year na baya na ensem mienu ye se President Mahama enhyehyaya ode ne sakọ hyase one US aban na sabre na President Obama na president no se eye Guantanamo before eye mrante mienu a do ba ha sei ebra no mada fiase be mfie be du na echi ni ayi omo no etiamra sanse article 75 ekire se ewo se protocol mo kan treaty convention agreement in hihye bia of whatever form or nature seni city bia also tabri na de kom na hye bidwam no mudo so wo ho na me no mi no nya no ye wo na musini wo ho no ma ono so be hwe se nya ni siko asemi ba obeka ya e mama hana tete ono kwa no so nim ho hwe be ka se sabe on na foreign affairs minister no sai MP be ka ya papa mako yongo no ya interior minister ozo nim ho hwe be kens no ya MP dina akwa se awia bi embo ho awia bi embo nsem nim ti nim mu yi ne na to so mienu se ne court agitum se omo ampa emra president mama fashion nsem a wanfa anya adwuma no ene na ese mrante mienu no yen form sanko ene Supreme Court asem o kan na 8 awa ampa ye president a wotwam wa fomumra ekwan a ofa so a odidi dwuma no wanya de senko wa ba mu a ebi kwa nkobikwa be ka say grounds for impeachment because when also afna mu na wusai na woso yemra batan ni mu na ka say ode be ye adwuma na mpu se ubu nanimutia ana ubu bibi so omra ni mu a esunsun so no ebi ni se ebitu afri ade so ni nyina no you bear the consequences a eni senko wa ba mu na nkasa atemu abaya anke betima gina so kura de tu na afri akonya so obi betimi agina so for as grounds of impeachment. Etina say enya de a ntimi me hu ne say wo ye afira ba mu me mpa de anka o sa chopa na nko de bre o mangana ya ka ne say wi no ene obi mekwa a ono kwo we ye no wan fa mra kwan so no o say na na do danko akufu ado utwa asapa chese ampodo de mra ba ye adwuma na ade asemu no ho kwabene ebeye ense na hopa Ediama omampeni bio bebia even after his excellency anado ebe kire say efi na kura wuntimi mfamra no enhye wonsam na won ka say wako take decision bi oba bi ebe kire Ghana ho no wo frɛ no note verbals wo frɛ no diplomatic arrangement wo frɛ no executive decision se bia nya do se bia kronto ye no ana say na ame be ka say court say asem nyomo kan ho na me kai na court ejina so ka say Esemu amu kenyina no wo hwe article 57 58 no kana che se ampa president ne di executive decision no a che ne nsem ye otumi bi ye de ma president Ghana for tumi ni nya ya pone bi hu ne de ma o president na mom sa tumi no kwa wo de ye adwuma a wo se ye mra kwa so ni nya da ho pefi 1992 constitution ntumi mfa mra ne nhye wonsem na wonye ne a ho pe ije ne ni abai ya hye aban se Yamane bosume miensa court na hye enyeme se bosume miensa no onfa sa hyehyeye ni nyina no kwabena onfa nko emrahye bedwam na emrahye bedwam omundo so na emu 2/3 and also more approve so that ometi ma ratify ntie esabone bi a yetwa to ho na Supreme Court person mo correct ni nei ye ni age all along that has always been our position say ye tiamra enye fe ya nya de nti ne yakonya abase mfumuso bi a omampani mahama ene na aban fum na anu bi no yamakonya se yankora.
What was the arguments then in opposition?
Eno na do ko
so afom mrakeke
what mra because ye over kai kran pa se ne so ma bakroma se kra ba so no be mienu ne echi kra ansa ne yete eso no ma ba
issues about omoya threat to Ghana. So
that is why I near Casas Bibisa and Untina. You see, there's always the spirit behind every provision in the Constitution to form as Attorney General. There is that spirit. Soon be type BBH. Soon ties our provision. H say. So what come na she be more science say akoye may be so dear. And now when she say no maybe so na akoye na wo de ba. E hu sunsuanso ni nyina no e be sign omanga na komunti no. And the omu jina oman Ghana anemu no omu ye legislature ayemra hye bedwomfo no fakoto menem no mundo so do so ho tubon se mfifia ho bi wo ho na se mo akrampo na omu no metwitwa gu ensem bi wo ho na enya omu domo su kwa omu no be yiye firi it is that was the argument eti akwase adena akwakọ anadwo ma na asem wo da soro ye de aba omampani na akwahye kokwam no obi akwakọ ebibi ehu sikasem te se yenim meanwhile so ne tie say hu sika bi piepie mu a for mo upkeep no ni ade ene budget bi a
yekama no fanya juma the court
nyatisem budget a mo to come out US for mo approve ye nya ni enim
onim say court onyina na eda na dia
na yenim entiede ho say don nsem nya betu ya budget a ye mo upkeep a ye mampani church ye ne nkofo de come a ye this kind of mo no one enim say we don't know so akodu obi nsa ase akofa ye fa benim we don't know. And there was a huge budget for say close down Guantanamo Bay. There was a huge budget because it was one of the campaign promises of Obama. And we don't know. That is the more reason why we're saying no, there should be some sort of and good governance will teach you.
So as it stands now, personally, if you say
good governance will teach you say adibia baby also ma tom. Me personally, some beko some go and yet masem. Eno de emrahye bedwam unomba ko decide but nana ehun hia ye pa ema mene me nana Margaret Bamford court lawyer na je ba fo wadi enim no ene se pepe yo ene mra na de be ye adwuma na ye kema me keba mamu no ya dom osuko
okay
because no say e ba man kana me boa ya kokudro sem nipa bi no frɛ test ye ebu ani ebo hu kakra na de hu ahye mu na US for na mu no mkonye ya hwe ne ye hey, yak monya careful. Then ekwe say ehu. We have to just ignore. So it was a bold decision, and today, Momo Casa and one say Biafra, oh, Nana congrats, oh, Nana congrats. Momo Casa and then because we are my champagne or more victory champagne.
Okay.
It's now is a mine sana identity, young fat, and Brano, and Yajuma.
Okay.
Because what Adam Musumasi, Samus Motai,
George
by I'm
sure. So what you also doing some
on my Canadian kind, I mean, shall we cheer for you now? And I send a minia, Nana be a Unianum Cremo for. And then the last day of the week, it's a be a day in Aquina, but Hanomo. I am more Muchinkwa and age my pa or Medi. So be very in a flat to her for 30 days, so bompire, I'm more minor. And as a ma say, it put to be a baby, papa be. Beba na brabo no na enye adwuma ketwa nti emamu nyina chinkwa e wa kwantu ye omufi ase ye mpai bo ne se ala e de ombewi akwantu no asana meba on the substantive issues no ndama enema mienu na mepese me dispel enye no cre da se ye ma me hana tete e be ka se onim ho hwe e na enye no cre nso biem se ye nra makwayongo emra no ye interior minister and I know saying Brashe Bedwani about Parliament because Onim Hoshe. The Omukai and say a issue of security, a on need to know basis. Inti baby on the clearance edu as Minister of Interior Onim. Baby on no honorable Hanatete the clearance edu as Minister of Foreign Affairs Onim. That is to establish a fact say Omanka say Omonim Hoshe. And that is what is on record. Inti no ebeye disingenuous emini ababetena hanomo na watoato Ghana footing say oh na your foreign minister class no ni mohwe. That was not what they said. No say no, she said it. Nana okasana metia. O say
oh, but I was able to who can who kai. Now my now kind of okay.
Okasana na
so dan na ma
okasana na utrantra na metia no mankasa
one dey chantra
because they say as one kind say o say it was on need to know basis. Not the clearance. And that's what Honorable Hannah
even before you go on, another person, and I see share positions, making Kai president former around 13th January 2016, when Emefa Pau joined news, Ebusa, the question on Gitmo 2, President as Anuya or the buy and they say, Ehubia and how bia and Nisa uncle for Dioma Bano. Na
one determine.
Na Nipa on your modom a young man you come here Ghana for this year. If you more my yes, the security experts and officials in your mama, Amananya, which was so ni GDS, Kofon or Mabano, and now they how another union and another Basabia, Ebre or my Ghana.
Can you believe that?
Come on,
just come on, brother, come on. But you, if you can breach the constitution as a president, you want me to believe what
breaching the constitution, the men
the constitution.
If it's about the constitution,
your act was unconstitutional. As a president,
how many times? How many times have the Supreme Court? How many times have the Supreme Court held? That's even former President Kufuor. Often President Kufuor about only 6 months in Kufuor. How many times have the Supreme Court held in other rulings about acts of governance that are unconstitutional? So
Nana watch. I
don't know I don't know about the now your point is that this one a man paying.
Yes, that is what the court said the president's decision.
Okay, man,
because he's the executive president of the republic.
But he said the president
takes responsibility for it.
But he would have said the government's decision. The government would have been different.
So what Honorable Hannah Tete said, I say it was on need to know basis. But you are not the clearance you do no, you money who here. And what the security issues are here. That is how it works. But me, I even
Oshase could do baby.
Exactly.
No,
me be chief executive for 8 years. Municipal chief executive. Now me a head of music. It's suddenly be by a statistical me on but the court red sec. Your meetings are me do red sec. I am a meeting. I will be speaking an issue number. Here discussing with the new year before the decision is taken. Can say me clearance as a menko. What is here? the clearance as I mean, the person may meet no.
What is
Material. It's main call. So when the decision is taken at that level, now the own person may meet in communicating show. And that is how issues of security work. It is over to America the Nippon said, no, you need more here. And you know, the second issue is that, yes, sir, you know, a court. Omahine, court no homa minu na. Your constitution, Article 2, and the Ojini say, be name, running yardina, but a court, na baby film, na baby semu. A magan and Ibia Hokwine. It's the Amema Margaret Banfo, enemy near and Abuache, Equaye, no. In Tiambra, Quine Biaso. But Nanabuache Betanahanum. Now, portrays the president. At that material moment, he was the president of the Republic of Ghana. That our executive power. Sabi, on your lawyer ni. And yet me can say, even lawyer for Nimpono. And now, 7 Supreme Court judges, Baku dissent here. 7 Supreme Court judges, so. Our Matana Assembly, so there was one dissent.
Judge Atukuba.
Irrespective of Justice Atukuba. Let's just say,
for purposes of information.
Let's just say, their president, the decision of the president on any yard. And now, story you break here, I've heard other lawyers also make other arguments there. The Supreme Court could have avoided all this. Other lawyers make other arguments there. The Supreme Court could have avoided all this if they had gone under the political doctrine. Oh, now lawyer, although there may be the political doctrine. Question also, baby.
Political question.
Anchor don't need to have even answered this question. So that, because now, for some time now,
it doesn't fall with
maybe yellow. That is other arguments people are raising. So if Justice Atuguba on the panel, it dissenting here, and you know something, most of the dissenting opinions of some of the senior lawyers over the years comes back to be the law. I believe that I'll be here knows it. Lord Denon, Omni almost dissenting opinions, no. October now 10 years. After about 10 years, 15 years. Was it that the position of the law changes? Because it takes bold judges to change the course of the law. And it was the judge be better than say. Or the decision will be taken. At that time, no. Was it a majority in our swing on one side? But with time, they come back and say, I am not saying say Justice Atuguba is right or wrong, and I'm not saying that the other 6 are right or wrong. As it stands now, the majority decision is say you form parliament, you for agreement in parliament. Now you can ratify. Apart from that, either I say we didn't remind you sign form back. Now me treat me and be no madri. Ako in summer omujina radio so. In summer omujina Ghana for any ekaye. Ebi on one came because he was in court. But in summer, His Excellency, President Ekufuado, ekaye, any leading members of the NPP. And I'll be okay for the
The president also
maybe submission. In summer, leading members of the NPP ekaye on various political platforms. Efa gitmo for you. And now, Mustafa Hamid, Minister for Information, issued statement. So they pose no threats. Okasa says here, you made references to a statement made by President Mahama. So based on the security advisors, any information on their mom, and said that all taking that executive decision, and the court number will say that executive decision was wrong. So we cannot fault it. But at that material moment, he took an executive decision in the best interest of Ghana. And then that decision President Mahama took, Mustafa made indirectly in his statement, I confirm that the people are posing no threat and have been of very good behavior. Once again, the hypocrisy of the NPP. In the run-up to the 2016 elections,
you are circumventing the issue. You have mentioned the presidency. No, I cannot get
yesterday, one more president statements.
What's the kind?
No.
But you did not mention it.
I don't know about
yes.
You don't decide for me.
I'm not deciding. No, why you're not being fair? You know why you're not being fair? Because when you say president can be president. That is why I kept quiet. Pay attention, say.
Yenim Ghana phone ni munsema mukafa gitmo for so. Yenim munsema na the and then say yeah what the majority MPP parliament. Ebeye sa agreement finally if it is laid before parliament.
You don't have to test. So some support to say
me say say yen ko form bae. Yen na yen president then ejitu mu. Say as a president of the Republic of Ghana, now of Felice Ebia, he had that executive power to take that decision on because the president has powers to take decisions on behalf of government. Okay, Mesa Basso, but Banana B, get a better explanation of this from the release from the Ministry of Information. Government wants to assure the nation that the ex-detainees who have been comporting themselves well since their arrival in Ghana continue to be under the supervision of the security agencies. This is exactly what President Mahama said. So what
is wrong with that statement?
One of your issues are raising
threats. Issue Ben when raising the
new patriotic party.
One issue Ben.
But I said, but if you have nothing against this issue,
no. Let me tell you something.
No, but if you say,
what was the question?
Let me explain it to you. Proud to you coming to power. One of the arguments that the MPP as a party, inclusive,
what like MPP argument? I want to change this for argument.
But then you see, I spoke about President John Dramani. Hold on. President John Dramani Mahama, January 13th, if it's correct. This question was posed by Emefa now with Joy News to him that Sanko Fuku Mini or do Omabay. And some say but this is a statement that is.
But he is saying, you guys are.
No, but the point is that based on what the president said.
Number one, and Kofono Homo Farabai, Omufri baby nearby, so Omono, Omoyakida for, Omademu in fear do nine. So we are Mampenina Oba, and Ranso Batadiano. Nasa Woba. Say Empokron almost posing no threat to Ghana. You don't sit in your room if NIPA 1, 2, 3 and say you have been briefed. When there's a law for you to go through. So now some buy is here 2 years no buy. I say August you say let me say 2 years no be there. You buy ye kase you buy no. It's a statement of fact. Omoba Chrome has say no. Anya biano, Omaya to trust him biana, Debbie.
But the issue we don't need them to do it to trust him or not. Clearly, the argument was that. We are uncomfortable with these people. Why presence in the country
changed today?
No, the position has changed.
Is it the MPP?
Inconsistency is way too much. What we put before the law court, our argument, Kenkai statement at that time. I'm saying you are John Bodwin a sign or the bar out, and they say you're Daniel sorry, near who's a Guantanamo base for ya. No mu hu nti no omukoto ye dom koto fiase emfie du nan no omo Ghana ha na Ghana fo yenim na enkom na hye a ehu that was our position and indeed who says that is a wrong position? That was our position. That
you had doubts then as to
about what are you talking about? Nippon no kodem emfie du nan no you need doubts say
meba
when you are president na say wo ko ba bi ba wo ko ba no wo de hye aba emran so da ho so diso article 75 which is very straightforward. Senko Mampeni by and Ankabana Bekate Ghana for you say, you watching
under this article 75.
And then the embassy
under this
unless you say
under this same article 75 on the case of Waterville, a contract that was awarded under President for, on the case of Isophoton, contract. We went to the Supreme Court and the Supreme Court said all those things would have come to Parliament. Was it Senate President Kufuor in India? No, yeah, nah. I'm not interested in your education. I'm not interested in your education. So what I say. So yes, presidents take responsibility. presidents take decisions. Issues of national security. Issues of national security. And me, from where I sit, minyan kind judgment ni be there. It's minyan who dissenting opinion of Justice Atuguba. But I can say, posterity someday will vindicate the position of Justice Atuguba.
A bit of disagreement on them. Yako Supreme Court. Supreme Court assembly in our some up. I'll say Ghana Mampenyana Montua Otu Enimbra Ebo.
And I make sure say. But in that decision, out of the 7 lords, no, Baku dissent say siding with the president's decision. And I make sure say issues of national security. Issues of national security. And I'm saying they could have. I've heard lawyers argue say the Supreme Court could have avoided all this under the doctrine of political question, so that they don't even attempt to answer the question at all. Because the Supreme Court was to answer a question. So the Supreme Court could have avoided answering the question and then left it solely in the domain of the president. Now, you see, an issue of national security. And then, sir, and if we have confidence in our presidents, say Ghana for now so they should take decisions that best represent the interest of Ghana. Some of these things will not happen. Okay. But at that material moment, in 2016, they were looking for political power. It's in almost statements on political platforms. Today, almost shifted goalposts. Right from ministerial statements, you can tell the inconsistencies from ministerial statement. Any statements that the New Patriotic Party issued and the press briefing President Akufo-Addo have it then. You can clearly see the inconsistencies in it. And then so what President Mama told us then, said they were going to be under
so that checks, by this that checks President Kasawaye with the security team was correct.
Was correct.
But the procedure was wrong.
Today it may look wrong because of what the Supreme Court have said.
Well, okay, Yaba, a lot of your text messages about Benjamin Kinkan in Ajama. Mamen Kinkan say MPP being partisan with Gitmo 2. Okay, so this one, okay, it's a long one. It's a long one. I can't read all. This one says that, Omahi, let's make things clear for all of us. The MPP stand at the time was based on a reportage by foreign media, then reported that they could be of threat to the nation. MPP was not against the 2 gentlemen staying in this country. And then this one also says, A.U. Farouk from Tamal, isn't it interesting? But for the Supreme Court ruling on the Gitmo 2, most of us had even forgotten we had recovering international terrorists living with us. There have been no incident yet, and yet we have had more domestic politically induced terror unleashed on us during the reign of NPP. A.U. Farouk Tamale and Ediwe Ediaba. And another one gets through here. And Jacob says that Obaye tell the Nabi that despite he wearing white apparel signifying victory, his government hasn't the balls to send them back to the United States of America. This is interesting now. Former DC is putting conditions on the Supreme Court ruling. Ochena Jun said there was with me because after the Supreme Court ruling, Ubia Owokwai says with me now that Supreme Court declared Gitmo 2 hospitality unconstitutional, the directives of Supreme Court must be followed. I have wished Nana Akufo-Addo administration the language they preached against Gitmo 2 when they were in opposition will follow suit to that. They can be sent back where they came from. Alaji Willie P. Ewo Ifi Kuma. And from Freddie Kuma, Wase Kropon says this diplomatic gaffe by the U.S. ambassador seems to be a thinly veiled lack of respect for our political leadership and by extension the sovereignty of our country. I am for John Boadu. I'm for John Boadu. My regards to Nanabi and also Ewanum saying. And this one says that, okay, make a channel Nanabi. Okay, all right, it doesn't need to come here. OPK Ogos also saying, Mahama and NDC have disgraced us on Gitmo 2, which is bad governance, so they should be sent back, and NDC will be in a position till thy kingdom come. Enoch, Dr. Hanabisu driver, also Anapayosu Shebi. ya chair on the page. Nana, wrap up the encore.
Sabrero. Obekaya. Even in US, Obama or the attempt to control him says a Congress was a Senate. I stand to be corrected. And you send common passing lobby and Casamran and Casabejo into US. In fact, they vehemently opposed to Sir and she said, and Obama persuaded the banner. So that is how come Obama now had to resort to a mama for fra or new more young kufa. Because US or crowd almost and one of the main reasons almost IT and say almost pose a threat to the nation. So when you have a whole institution, a whhole country.
Do they still pose a threat today?
Do
they still pose a threat today?
We're wrapping up.
So that time now, we'll do a mobile. And that was the report I need for. But yes, a report crumbles where it was, and then so I must rejected against Emrana. And to who it was only incumbent on you as a president. I also Kwakwaji to Naban say, and can you also man for because any secret? Yet so almost US for. Can also no man for and one say, for me, politically wise, at that time, Kwaukuta, majority in parliament. You can just whip them in line and say, we know, oh, my mayor, my penny, most been called for them, Makwaja diatum, Mumbobo, Hunya, Yenshe, the Bisiako. No, what you so that time, even US said, no, me a threat.
Well,
and a woman penny winning the part 2, 3 acquisition them so many threats. Mammy also the and now I'll go security security for any power.
It's been confirmed because Muankasamu statement.
Maybe see that time.
Okay, it's been confirmed by your statement. The process is what in a very nice manner. What it means is that President Mahama,
yes,
the due diligence as to the people being threat to Ghana, it's been confirmed by the media. Now, the challenge now is that the process.
US
we don't have a problem with what you're saying.
What is why not security?
As a president,
the disrespect and the arrogance of the
Okoye na yetutu na so yesi an omate ase ombe kuma se dwom tunim omoye no closed door na nipa kakra bi na ekohia no ebuto ja fi ebusa na se ma onam ho mu onka he ene ma Dr. Matthew Poku pepe no ka se mami asema ebu na frɛ no say because ebusa wasema I don't know ebusa wasema I don't know.
Bottom line is that court no asema kan say man penya na mo ntutu ye no
ene Ghana wa illegal
but no statement na aba no. It also supports bits of
it does not support it's a statement of fact here.
The statement of fact is that
how could you have justified then that did say
but how do you justify it now?
Because they have been here for more than 2 years. But that time no even 4 months. Don't
go down this.
Ghana for 8 years. How I don't know. Come on, you no mobile and change. It's who your man, and now we say the 2, 3, 4. Meaning, baby, I'm quite a mucha wine, being a kusha. Now,
disrespect and arrogance. Oh, I
disrespect as someone okay. His president, His Excellency, the former president, also what we share with security for 1, 2, 3.
Why do you stress on the 1, 2, 3? Why do you want to stress on that?
That is not President Guadu is doing. You said 1, 2, 3. That is Ghana on board. When we have a cabinet so I can understand them.
I am Mr. Ghana, Mr. Mishra, Emma Ghana, former President Mahama. Second, when Fris were and impunity way. Unconstitutionality way, illegality way, and by impunity when must overlord when President in this case, go and read the judgment very well. When they say the government entered into a contract, and on this note, I was in court. I heard Chief Justice of Akufu said the president's decision, or say upon the proper and
nobody doubts that decision by the Supreme Court.
Yes,
but all what is
the president's decision
why are you trying
to bring in the two Gitmo detainees was unconstitutional and executive.
What are you talking about?
If at that time we even
question
the executive powers, and you see the executive powers, yes, the executive powers on Article 57, 58, it is subject to the Constitution.
What do you do?
And then what my dear say, Nanado Danko Kufado. Say, Okokwano Kunyani security briefing. If you nipa 1, 2, 3, Obesa and Imrashibajum as I dream. Etienne to Ghana JJ Musa.
That's a
so, and Sabra President Mamma so many threat, ni any moment.
Okay, fine.
But now you as far as some mutis or more threat.
Constitutional breaches is serious. 6 months of Nanado's rule. There's no constitutional breach. No, there's no constitutional breach.
We have to call upon him to submit his list to cabinet.
And when it's a constitutional list, don't do that. There is no constitutional provision that states that the president should submit his list to parliament.
We have to call on him.
No,
but the constitution talks about knowing cabinet.
No, when you say no cabinet, doesn't mean you submit your list.
The constitution talks about
you are a law student. I
presume
that you have passed constitutional law. I presume you have passed constitutional law. There is no provision in the constitution.
But there is a provision in the constitution that says that you should name your cabinet. It took the good people of Ghana to call upon you.
Me and you, we are unable to sit in your studios and determine what amounts to a breach.
But you are able to determine that
because Supreme Court
because you took it up and you went there.
Supreme Court
now.
Okay, so unfortunately,
there was an important issue, and I'm doesn't raise
that.
NDC needs fresh blood.
Ex-presidents, MPs to queue for visa applications.
Okay.
Say Yanokra, they do Yakakra. Now, an opportunity, Honorable Ayokobotri. Also, she needs to take time to study the decision.
Is it a statement?
It's a statement to say decision. She needs to take time to study it. In diplomacy, there is something called reciprocity. You do me, I do you.
Okay,
problem,
this one says, Embassy of the United States, to all protocol officers, pursuant to worldwide guidance from the U.S. Department of State Bureau of Consular Affairs, protocol officers will no longer be allowed inside the consular waiting area to accompany visa applicants. Protocol officers from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration will be allowed in the consular waiting area in order to deliver and pick up passports and documents. Thank you for your understanding and cooperation. The Consul General, U.S. Embassy, Accra, Ghana.
You don't must say. Maybe your minister is best study. Simple as ABCD. In diplomacy, you do me, I do you. Reciprocity. It is a member now, mommy. Now, Miss me also do me. I expect the government of Nanado to put his foot down.
Okay.
I'm ready to say,
this cannot be allowed.
We cannot continue to encourage some of these things. So John Benjamin saying who be Brubedi or my American ambassador and so and finally their mother source also. It is time we speak the language they understand. We are a sovereign country. If we are president we don't need yasresre. You know,
Airtime.